Marty Smith for OmahaPokerReport.com. I'm here on PokerStars in a $10 sit and go tournament. You see a hand like this? Well, it's an aceless hand. But if an ace comes up, well, I could very well get the nut low, especially if one of my opponents gets counterfeited here. I'm going to be pretty safe given I have the 2, 3, 4. As well, I have the spades here, which give me some potential for the high. This is a delicate hand to play. But you need help from the flop, and I got it here. There is a draw to the low. I really need an ace, though, to make this pot really big. My 10 high flush isn't really that great to be pushing here, so I'm just going to call and hope for a really good turn card. But this is a situation where you're in a hand where you are drawing for both sides, as opposed to your opponents, who could be likely drawing for one side or the other. And in that sense, when you are drawing for both sides, well, you want as many opponents in the hand as you can. And there is my beautiful, beautiful card here. This is a nut low. I'm also protected against counterfeiting because a 2, 3, or 4 can fall here, and I will have the nut low when potentially one of my opponents is going to be playing the low. Let's assume they have a 2, 3. Somebody just re-raised me here. If someone has the 2, 3, you know, at this level, they push because they want to sort of intimidate others out of the pot. And now this is, for early in the tournament, this is getting really big. But look at my hand. I do have a flush. I do have the nut low. So I know I'm not going to go bust. But there is some potential here that I could be the one playing for a quarter pot. I just don't think so, based on the way my opponent's playing so far. I think that somebody has at least a 2, 3, but I think I might be good for the flush, and that pot is 4,000 now. I'm just not leaving here. All right, let's pause it right there. We'll see what they got. 2, 3. So this guy is pushing and calling on the low against multiple opponents. 2, 3, he had to figure somebody else had that low. His only hope here was that him and I were playing for high flushes and not participating in the low. Risky business. This guy here with the 4 high flush pushing that hand is, well, reckless. He shouldn't have been raising. He should have just been calling and checking. And he has no idea about pot management here. So, redonkulous play. And I was justified, really, to be playing this aggressively. Well, at least loosely, after the pot got built up. Look at my win scales in Omaha Indicator. It's basically telling me I'm at least going to get one side of this pot. So, you know, those are pretty big win scales to be folding here. You know, it's just not going to be happening because, you know, I could be ahead on both sides here right now, and I have even more outs to solidify my hand. So, good play for me. Reckless play by my opponents, and, you know, I'm calling this. I'm all in. My opponent here, who was actually playing for a quarter pot, actually gets counterfeited in the end. He's out. This guy only ends up with chips because he had a big stack to start, and you can see why he had a big stack to start. He got lucky to begin with. That quarter pot dilemma situation happens to everybody, including guys like Mike Matusow. He's a very proficient player in Omaha high-low. In fact, I'll tell you, I was watching this table for a good hour or so, and he's up about $15,000. I think that new medication's working really well. So he's in a hand here. 3 hearts come out. He bets out on the flop. Gets a call. 2,000 in the pot. He's got a call here. And another bet and a call. So Mike calls. So he's calling all the way. To me, that instantly means that he's calling for the low hand. If he had a flush as well, especially the nut flush here, he's going to be re-raising on the turn or the river. But he's definitely calling for the low. So he's expecting half pot. But that's not how it works out. The pot ended up nearly $3,900. He only got $900 out of that, even though he called the $400 bets all the way, because he was playing for a quarter pot. Here's his ace deuce. Yes, he has the nut low, but this guy has the nut low and he has the nut high as well. So those are the dangers of playing for quarter pots, especially, when you're in a hand and you're against a tight mousy player and they come out betting and you only have the nut low. Well, either consider yourself getting the hell out of the pot, or assessing how many players are in the hand and if you're the only one playing for a low here or not. Quarter pot dilemmas are very costly because sometimes you just get in a hand instantly and without thinking in Omaha high low, and you're just assuming that you're playing for one side of the pot. Well, hands turn over and oh, whoops, no, I was putting in, I contributed half the money to that pot, but I'm only getting 25% out. You got to keep your eye out for those tricky quarter pot dilemmas. It's Marty Smith here from OmahaPokerReport.com. I've got a free video sign-up series for Omaha 8 strategy in the low limits. You just come to my site at OmahaPokerReport.com, sign up for free, and watch a video. Okay, guys, take care. Ciao.